I'm Margaret. I'm 71 years old, and I'm going to tell you something that nobody told me when I was your age, something that took me 6 decades to figure out. The difference between a life that feels full and a life that feels empty isn't about what you do. It's about what you stop doing. I know that sounds backwards. We're always being told to do more, achieve more, become more. But after 7 decades on this planet, I've learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop. Just stop. And I'm going to tell you exactly what needs to stop. Because if you're watching this and you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, you still have time to make different choices than I did. The thing about getting older is you can see patterns. You can look back across decades and actually notice what mattered and what didn't. And let me tell you, most of what we worry about doesn't matter at all. But most of us don't realize that until it's almost too late. So let me take you back. I'm going to tell you 5 things I wish I'd stopped doing years ago. Not things you should start doing, things you need to stop. The first thing, stop waiting for permission. This is the big one. I spent the first 40 years of my life waiting for someone to tell me it was okay to live my life. My mother said I should focus on getting married. My husband said I should focus on the kids. My boss said I should focus on the job, and I listened to all of them. I was the good daughter, the good wife, the good employee. I remember being 35 years old, sitting in my office, and I had this thought. I wanted to take a pottery class, just a pottery class. I'd always loved working with my hands, shaping things, creating something from nothing. But I didn't sign up. Why? Because it felt selfish. Because no one was asking me to do it. Because I didn't have permission. Sounds silly now, doesn't it? But I let that permission thing stop me from doing hundreds of things. I didn't take dance lessons because my husband wasn't interested. I didn't start that garden because my kids needed me. I didn't travel because my sister needed help. I didn't write because who did I think I was? I didn't paint. I didn't study. I didn't try. I was waiting for someone to say, "Yes, Margaret, it's okay. You're allowed to want things. You're allowed to do things just for yourself." But that person never came. And one day I realized something terrifying. I had given away my entire life waiting for permission that was never going to come. Here's what I finally understand. Nobody is going to give you permission. Not your parents, not your boss, not your spouse, not your kids. Permission is something you give yourself. And the longer you wait, the older you get, and the fewer years you have left to actually live. I'm 71 now. I finally took that pottery class. I'm not very good at it, but that's not the point. The point is, I did something I wanted to do just because I wanted to do it, and it took me 36 years to get there. Don't wait that long. Whatever it is you've been putting off, whatever dream you've been telling yourself you'd do later, stop waiting. The later you're waiting for doesn't exist. The second thing, stop calling your worth to other people. When I was younger, I measured myself against everyone around me. Did I look better than her? Did I achieve more than him? Was my house nicer? Were my kids more successful? Was I married to someone impressive enough? I was constantly looking outward to see if I was enough. And here's the problem with that. You never are enough because there's always someone richer, thinner, more accomplished, more impressive. The goalpost keeps moving. I spent decades chasing a version of myself that other people would approve of. And you know what? I never caught up to that version because she didn't actually exist. I had a friend, Linda. We met in college. Both of us smart, both of us ambitious, both of us convinced that if we just worked hard enough, achieved enough, we'd finally feel secure. We'd finally feel like we mattered. Linda made more money than me. She had a fancier house. Her kids went to better schools. I spent years looking at her life and feeling like I was failing. Then one day, years later, Linda called me. She was crying. She told me that she'd spent her whole life building this life that looked perfect from the outside. outside, but on the inside she was miserable. She couldn't remember the last time she felt genuinely happy. She didn't know her kids. She had no close friends because she was always too busy impressing people. And she said something to me that broke my heart. She said, "I don't even know who I am underneath all of this." That was my wake-up call. I realized I was doing the same thing. I was so focused on what other people thought of me that I had no idea who I actually was, not the version of me I showed the world, the real me. The one who liked old movies and bad jokes and quiet mornings. The one who didn't care about status. Stop measuring yourself against other people. Stop trying to be impressive. Stop performing. Because here's what happens when you finally stop doing that. You find out who you actually are. And that person is enough. She's been enough the whole time. You've just been too busy looking at everyone else to notice. I'm in my 70s now, and I'm telling you, the most free I've ever felt is now when I finally stopped caring what other people think. It's strange that it took me 70 years to figure that out, but it's not too late for you. You got time. Start now. The third thing, stop postponing joy. This is the one that haunts me the most. I postponed joy for decades. I told myself I would be happy when I got married, when I had children, when I bought a house, when the kids were grown, when I retired. When. But the when never came. Or rather, it came, and I was too tired or too worried or too busy to actually experience it. I spent my life in a perpetual state of waiting for the next chapter to start, not realizing that I was missing the current chapter completely. I remember my mother asking me once, "Are you happy?" And I realized I couldn't answer that question. Happy wasn't a state I was currently in. Happy was something I was working towards. Happy was always somewhere in the future. But I was living in the present, and the present was just a series of tasks to complete before I could finally get to the good part. The good part never came, or it came in tiny moments that I barely noticed because I was so busy thinking about the next thing that needed doing. My kids' childhood went by in a blur of logistics. My marriage became a series of obligations. My life became about getting through the day instead of living it. Here's something I figured out too late. Joy isn't a destination. It's not something you earn after you've done enough. Joy is available right now, in this moment. It's in the coffee you're drinking. It's in the person sitting next to you. It's in the walk you take. It's in the book you read. It's everywhere if you're actually paying attention to it. But most of us aren't paying attention. We're too busy. We're too focused on the future. We're too convinced that we have time. Stop waiting for happiness to find you. Stop putting off joy until you've accomplished enough. Start noticing the good moments happening right now in your life as it exists, not as you hope it will exist someday. Because I'm telling you from experience, someday gets here very fast, and you don't want to look back and realize you spent your entire life waiting for it. The fourth thing, stop holding grudges. This one cost me relationships I can never get back. I held grudges. Small ones, big ones, grudges I couldn't even quite articulate. I was mad at my brother for something he said 30 years ago. I was angry at my father for not being more affectionate. I was hurt by my friend for not defending me once at a party. And I carried all of that around like it meant something. It didn't mean anything. It was just dead weight I was carrying around that made me heavier and smaller and more bitter every year. When I was 60, my brother got sick, very sick. For the first time in our adult lives, we were vulnerable with each other. And right before he had surgery, I told him I was sorry. Sorry for holding on to anger for so long. Sorry for not calling more often. Sorry for letting our relationship get so cold. And he cried. He said he'd been waiting for me to forgive him for the same thing for 30 years. We'd wasted 3 decades being mad at each other over something that probably wasn't even what we thought it was. It was just a misunderstanding that became a wall, that became a chasm. And we almost ran out of time to fix it. He's still here. Thank God. We're close now, but it took nearly losing him for me to realize that holding a grudge is like holding poison and hoping the other person dies. It doesn't hurt them. It only hurts you. Stop holding grudges. Stop waiting for the other person to apologize first. Stop telling yourself that if they really cared, they would reach out. Stop all of that. Call them. Send them a message. Say what you need to say. Boys, you don't have unlimited time with the people you love, and you absolutely cannot waste it on anger. I know it's harder than it sounds. I know pride gets in the way. I know sometimes the other person might not respond how you want them to. But I'm telling you, from where I'm sitting now, it's worth it. It's always worth it. The 5th thing, stop putting your health second. This is the one that makes me the angriest at myself. I ignored my body for decades. I didn't sleep enough because I was too busy. I didn't exercise because I didn't have time. I didn't eat well because convenience mattered more than nutrition. I went to the doctor when something was so wrong I couldn't ignore it anymore. Not for preventive care. I was young and stupid, and I thought my body would just keep working no matter how I treated it. I was wrong. At 63, I had a health scare. Not a heart attack, not a stroke, but something that woke me up to the fact that I didn't have forever. My body was aging. It was getting tired. And I had wasted the years when I could have been building a foundation of health. Now I'm paying for that. I have arthritis, I have high blood pressure, I have the creeping exhaustion that comes from a body that's breaking down. And yes, some of this is just aging, but a lot of it could have been prevented if I'd just paid attention earlier, if I'd slept, if I'd moved my body, if I'd eaten things that nourished me instead of just filled me up. Your health isn't something you fix later, it's something you build now, every day, every choice. The sleep you don't get now becomes the exhaustion you feel later. The exercise you don't do now becomes the weakness you'll regret later. The food you don't fuel your body with now becomes the sickness you might face later. I know it's not exciting. I know it's easy to put off. I know there's always something more urgent. But listen to me. Your body is the only one you get. You can build more money. You can fix a lot of mistakes, but you cannot get a new body. Take care of it now, while you still can. So, here's what I want you to understand. I'm 71 years old, and if I'm lucky, I have maybe another 15 or 20 years. Not infinite, not forever. 20 years if I'm really lucky. And in those 20 years, I want to actually live. I want to do the things I've been putting off. I want to spend time with the people I love. I want to feel good in my body. I want to forgive the people I've been angry at. I want to stop caring what other people think. I want to notice the joy that's already happening around me. I wish I hadn't wasted so much time getting here. But I'm here now, and that's what matters. You're in your 30s, 40s, maybe 50s. You still have decades, more time than I have. Don't waste it the way I did. Don't wait for permission. Don't measure your worth against other people. Don't postpone joy. Don't hold grudges. Don't ignore your health. Start now, today, this week. Make one change. Pick one of these 5 things and stop doing it. You'll be amazed at what opens up when you do. Because here's the truth that took me 71 years to learn. Your life isn't going to start later. This is it. This is your life, right now. Not when you're older. Not when you've accomplished more. Not when you finally have permission. Right now. So what are you going to do with it? If this resonates with you, share this video. Leave a comment and tell me which one of these 5 things you're going to stop doing first. Subscribe because I've got more of these conversations coming. and I'd love to share them with people who actually want to listen. And then close this video and go live your life. Don't wait. Don't postpone. Don't ask for permission. Go.